Okay, this is day 12. Ask me about the Owan brothers, right? Been around for a long time. So I love wearing this around Capitol Hill. I said this a long time ago, but you remember that email about 150 Blackberries, the CDW, and the 50 email messages that Huma had, and I said, well, there's 50 at State Department, there's 50 at CENTCOM, there's 50 here. I still say that. I haven't changed one bit. That's how it's going to be. The reason why you need CENTCOM, and with the Saipov's trucking companies today, I think you're seeing this come out in droves. Saipov, the guy who ran over all those people, has a trucking company with a guy named Rashid. It's called Rashid Saipov. I think it's going to be Rashid Saipov Brothers or Rashid Saipov Buddies, but maybe Rashid Saipov Brothers. And that RSB trucking is going to be the thing that gets the export license for taking waste, uranium waste, out of different places that U.S. Enrichment has it, and taking it supposedly to Canada, supposedly to Blind River. So from Paducah, Kentucky, and Piketown, Ohio, they're supposed to go up through Detroit into north of Lake Huron, but I think they take a right turn at Detroit and they go to Montreal. And I think they pick up something along the way, which is highly enriched uranium at Fort Campbell on their way to Montreal. And Hillary's selling the highly enriched uranium through Uranium One and this AMZ, not ARM, ARMZ, instead of ARMS, and then Kim Fritz is actually the person I published this morning that actually did the export license. So you'll also see the transportation logistics, okay, a guy named Ravenscroft actually sending a letter and asking about bringing depleted uranium on its trip back to the United States after it's spent, the highly enriched uranium, back into Charleston. You'll see that. I published that letter this morning as well. So we've gotten kind of the full loop here. You know, we send it to Europe, we send the highly enriched, it gets all used up in the reactors, we then take it down for depleted uranium weapons manufacturing in Qatar and in the 7th Emirate of Iraq. We can break it down even further for the medical business, the medical isotopes, we can use that, and then we can take it to Pakistan. It's going around the world now to make the depleted uranium ammunition, and then it comes back in through Charleston. We can store it there until we have the next ISIS conflict that we want to make money with our pay-to-play. It's a nice circle. It's actually it's a 360-degree circle, and we've fused all of our ratlines into one location, 1050 Connecticut. It's at an attorney's office, so it's protected by attorney-client privilege. All of our workers there, like Visselnitskaya and the people writing the PP dossier, and the people, you know, writing checks to MI6 for all of Samantha Power's wiretaps, are all going to be in Fusion GPS. And the reason why Imran's dad's using satellite phones and Iridium phones, and why he's so concerned about secure Blackberries all over the world, and why Soraya Begum's so concerned about satellites and nanosets, it's all to manage this worldwide ratlines. I had thought the DNC was going to be the power center. The DNC is just NGP van. That's just the pay side. That's just for looting cash from your opponents, from the people that are not SEIU candidates, from progressive components, and stealing the money. But as far as the big money is concerned, it's over here on the play side with the 50. There's going to be 50 Blackberries. So we're going to, I think they've said 45. I think it's 50. There's going to be 50 Blackberries here. I think they retrieved about 30 of them that night. They were able to get around to, on night of the inauguration, they were able to get around to about 30 people, but they still had 20 that they had to account for somehow. And that's where they had to basically say, well, we need to arrange a theft, because that person probably couldn't get another Blackberry because of some congressional rules or something like that. It's going to be something like that. But again, here's where we need to just publish all the reports. The Grafenstein report of the illegal logins, which is the scraping of the iConstituent data. You need to publish the CDW, the 150 phones. Those are 50 for CENTCOM, 50 for the Congress, 50 for the State Department. We need to publish the congressional loans. Those are going to be going to help programmers write the brilliant application for this whole logistics systems in Pakistan. We need to publish the report about the terabytes of information that the 123 Dropbox is sending, that Debbie Wasserman Schultz has, because that's what's sending all the programming data and the satellite pictures. It's going in every hour and scraping every hour, because it's giving everybody a snapshot around the world every hour. So it's almost like a Greenwich Mean Time clock. It's kind of brilliant, really. So it's kind of fun when you see Ratline's fused like this using GPS. And I'm going to have to add now, of course, Fusion GPS to the lawsuit, because they are an actor. Anytime you use a front company as an actor of your conspiracy or your racket, that now becomes a part of the system, a state actor. So they're going to get added to the lawsuit. Don't worry, Anthony Weiner's going to get added. I probably have to name Saipov now to get him, so we'll see how what he testifies to. But Saipov's going to open up a lot of things. He owns a trucking company in Illinois with Rashid, so this RSB, or trucking. He owns 2 car companies. I wonder if those are to sell cars, one in Cleveland, one in Cincinnati. We've got car dealers that were murdered there. We got a guy named Stevie Steve that murdered 8 people involved in the trucking business and drug business, the Roden family. All these things are kind of coming together now, and all will come out during discovery. So that's the neat part of this whole thing. So don't worry, I am going to add Saipov to the lawsuit. I am going to add Fusion 360. The only question I have in my mind is, if I go and add Samantha Power, I probably have to add Susan Rice and McMaster for ordering, and McCabe for ordering up all of the wiretaps. I'll probably have to call as witnesses all the people involved in the Uranium One transportation logistics, the people that got forced out. Unfortunately, Bob Fisk is dead. He wrote a beautiful piece about depleted uranium, about how horrible it was in Kosovo. If you haven't read that, check my Twitter feed. And then, of course, Lambert, who's their little pigeon over here. And then, of course, Condrey, who was used to force out Fisk, and then they stabbed him in the back. He's still waiting for trial in Maryland. So lots of stuff coming together. It all comes together beautifully in the lawsuit. That's what I love about the lawsuit. It all comes together beautifully. Okay, we'll talk to you a little bit later today.